And Jewish people are very industrious, I'm generally speaking now, and they are prosperous. And they live better than most people in the world. Israel is a very prosperous nation.
What is the 3,367-year-old question? Why anti-Semitism? Why do they hate us? The Jewish people, we were in bondage for over 200 years in Egypt. That's where we began. Moses came and led us out of Egypt through the splitting of the sea, arriving at Mount Sinai. God gives us the Ten Commandments and sanctions us as a nation and says very clearly, accept me as your God, I will accept you as my children. But the deal is that you need to be a light unto the nations. You need to take everything I'm teaching you here at Mount Sinai, the Ten Commandments and all the precepts of the Bible. You need to go out there to the rest of the world and teach it to them. And you need to live it. You need to be living examples. You can't just preach it. You actually got to live it. And God gave the Jewish people right there in the desert this responsibility, a mission indeed. The rest of the world has their mission. Everyone born by God in this world is given a mission. The Jewish people have been given a mission to teach the world, to lead the world. We didn't ask for it. God gave it to us. So here we are, 3,337 years later. Why anti-Semitism? Why hate us? Why is there such anti-Semitism, such hatred? Literally baseless hatred. If you know your fellow Jew, and you know your fellow observant Jew, and if you only know the Jewish religion, perhaps your perspective would be different. Nobody is perfect. We all have faults, and we all at times fall off, but we get back on. We're all human. God gave us an evil inclination. God gave us a positive inclination. We're faced with the same temptations. No one is perfect. But we have a compass. A compass is God. God has led us in the direction that we need to go from birth to death. And that is what the Bible is all about. And that's what Judaism is all about. We're about a life. We are a religion built to live, not just to live ourselves, but to help others live. Promote life amongst the living. Do whatever you can to spare a person's life and to help them live, and to be assisting and caring and loving to everyone, regardless of race, color, and religion. That is what Judaism is. Someone came once to a rabbi and says, I want to convert to Judaism, but I want you to teach me everything on one leg. You want me to teach you all of Judaism on one leg? You got 5 books of Moses, the scriptures, and the prophets, all on one leg? So one rabbi said, no can do. He went to another rabbi known as Hillel. And he says, I'll do it. Okay? He says, fine, what is it? He says, love your fellow as yourself. He says, that's it? That's Judaism? He says, yep, that's Judaism. The rest is all commentary. The rest is all a guide. How do you get to there? This is our goal as Jewish people. Love your fellow as yourself. My rabbi taught me, love your fellow as an extension of yourself. You look at another person like a mirror. We see each other. So Mr. O'Reilly seems to think that he found the answer, the 3,367-year-old question about anti-Semitism. And he will share it with us. Please kindly subscribe to the channel and share it with others. Let's grow this channel so we can go from 40,000 to 50 to 100,000. Please listen in to Mr. O'Reilly as he shares with us his take on anti-Semitism.
something that has bothered me for a long time, and I think I figured it out, is anti-Semitism. So we in the New York area, and that includes Newark, Jersey City, all of that, there are more than 2 million Jews living in our community. Second largest in the world outside of Israel. They're first, we're second. Now, in New York City, almost 1 million Jews are residing there. In Nassau, Suffolk, and Westchester, approaching 500,000. So this is a substantial presence. Yet we continue to see and hear anti-Semitism. And I'm going, why? What is driving that? First, a little history. So at the time of Aristotle, going way back to 384 BC, the lending of money for profit was believed to be dishonorable. And then when the Christian church under St. Paul began to form, usury, which is the lending of money for interest, was designated a sin largely based upon what the Greeks did. And the church banned the practice in Europe. You could not lend money if you were a Christian. Now, in the Torah, the Hebrew Bible, a Jew cannot lend money and demand interest from another Jew. But if you're Jewish in the Torah, you can lend money to a non-Jew and collect interest from that person. That fueled anti-Semitism throughout Europe in the Middle Ages up until modern times. I mean, this is the week of the Nazis losing, signing the armistice in 1945. That was all based on Jew hatred, that whole Third Reich. And it caught fire among some, not most, because of the history of the Jewish presence in Europe. And Jewish people are very industrious, I'm generally speaking now, and they are prosperous. And they live better than most people in the world. Israel is a very prosperous nation. So that brings me to the far left around the world and in America. They hate Israel. And that's a lot of this anti-Semitism coming out of that crew. So they see Israel as a fascist state, number one, that expropriated Arab land in Palestine. Yeah. And if you look at the history of that area, I mean, it's been occupied by Muslims, by Romans, on, back and forth. And after World War II, Harry Truman got behind a Jewish state, as he had to. With 6 million dead in Europe and 10, 15 million displaced, and Stalin was persecuting Jews in Russia, they had nowhere to go. So territory was carved out in the Middle East for a Jewish state. Truman got behind it, and it came to be. But the far left hated that. They hate Israel. They think Israel is a colonial situation that persecutes and murders Jews. Now, no matter how much terrorism is directed at Israel, the far left's not going to change that. And a congresswoman, Omar, epitomizes that point of view. Roll it.
Israel has dropped more bombs in the last 10 days than we dropped in a whole year in Afghanistan. Where is your humanity? Where is your outrage? Where is your care for people?
Now, she's a loon. Everybody knows Ilhan Omar is a loon. And, you know, what is Israel supposed to do when Hamas is murdering its citizens? It has to defeat Hamas. And you defeat Hamas militarily, you have to use bombs. Okay, I'm not justifying anything. I'm just explaining history. Omar doesn't care. She hates Israel. Is she anti-Semitic? I can't look into her heart, but certainly she peddles a tremendous destructive propaganda against Jews. So there you have it. And, you know, I don't really know any anti-Semites myself. I wouldn't associate it with a person like that. Everybody knows that I stand up for Judeo-Christian tradition and for Jews themselves. But I think an explanation was needed. I provided it. You want to write me, bill@BillO'Reilly.com, bill@BillO'Reilly.com, name and town. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.
The definition of anti-Semitism, Omar, he doesn't know if she's anti-Semitic? Really? But this is what anti-Semitism is all about. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, the streets of Crown Heights. Unfortunately, I'll never forget when I was about 5, 6 years old, was the first time I was attacked because I was a Jew. At the time, I had a little coin box that we used to collect coins for our school. And as I was walking home alone, an individual asked me, where do I live? I'm 5, 6 years old. I don't know. So I says, right there. And as I get to my house, to the alley, he grabs the box from me and pushes me down. I just couldn't understand it. And I ran home crying, telling my parents what happened. This is on the streets of Brooklyn in the 60s. Let's fast forward 2019. I am already living in San Diego, in North San Diego. My career began here in 1981. I came to this city, and in 1984, I established a community. In 1996, I built a beautiful center with my community, a 25,000 square foot beautiful building, a synagogue, a preschool, a Hebrew school, a library, banquet hall, etc. Everything that a community can need. April 27, 2019, I'm in the lobby talking with one of my dearest friends, Mrs. Lori Lynn Gilbert Kay, when an anti-Semite, a white supremacist, 19 years old, walks into the lobby with an AR-15 fully loaded with enough ammunition to kill all 60 of us that were there that day. He opens fire and murders right in front of my face Mrs. Lori Lynn Gilbert Kay. As she drops to the floor, I hear children that are playing behind me. He lifts up the AR-15 and aims at me to kill me, just like he did to Lori. With a split second, I turn around and run towards the children to bring them to safety. He shot off another 4 bullets to kill me, to assassinate me. The bullet struck my 2 fingers. I lost this finger, and this finger is totally not usable. He then went on to shoot inside the sanctuary. Some brave men rushed towards him, and he left the premises. Instead of killing 60 of us, he killed 1, hurt myself and some others, but the rest of us survived. That is anti-Semitism, up close and personal. This form of anti-Semitism has absolutely no logic. For a 19-year-old white-bread American kid who is in nursing school to arm himself with the AR-15, who lives just 2 miles away from the synagogue, to come in and kill me and kill Lori because she's Jewish and try to kill me because I'm Jewish. And he said, when he surrendered to the police, he said, I just shot up a synagogue. I killed a rabbi and someone else. He thought I was dead. He didn't know that I survived it. This is what anti-Semitism is about, and must be stopped. After the Holocaust, we said never again. What does that mean, never again? Yet it's again. What happened on October 7 is another Holocaust reminder. No matter how much we progressed in life and society, this evil head of anti-Semitism, of bigotry, of racism must be stopped. On the borders of Israel and in the streets of the United States of America. Anti-Semitism must be stopped and will only be stopped when we talk up and we talk up loudly. May God bless us all. God bless you. God loves you.